Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the webinar on a Tuesday morning with your busy schedule. So let's get straight to the webinar. A quick introduction. We are from Shipra Academy, the authorized learning partner for IIA India, because we are having few participants from outside of India as well. So thank you for joining. And this session is going to be quite interactive. The first few minutes, I'm going to take you through the nuances between the challenge exam and the three-part exam. And afterwards, we'll be opening up for your questions specifically to answer. Okay. So with that background, let's move on to the deck. I hope you're able to hear me and see the deck as well. Okay, I think you will not be able to do a chat, but if you have any questions during the session, you can type in your questions as well. Or if you want to ask any questions, you can raise your hands. So with that, let's get started. So CIA three-part exam is this challenge exam. I'm quite sure most of you are aware about the CIA exams. So the difference is that three-part versus challenge exam. Who can write three-part exam? Who can write challenge exam? And what is the difference? So we are quickly going to run you through this. Eligibility for three-part exam. All graduates are eligible regardless of their field of study. And challenge exam, chartered accountants, ACCA, CPA, CISA, and there is a list of 17 or 18 institutes which are recognized by the IIA US. So all those professionals can take this challenge exam. So we have listed 3 or 4 which are specific to the Indian context. Program timeline, regular exam, you can take the exam anytime during the year, it is flexible. But challenge exam, right now the window is you need to apply in April, or right now it is slightly getting extended. So even this week you can register. The exam writing window is only in June or August. So once you register for the exam, within 180 days, you need to write the exam. So you have the option of writing next month, which is in June or in August. So there is no other option further beyond that. So next window, if you want to register in September, then you can write the exam in November or February. So the challenge exam is quite restricted in terms of the timelines. Regular exam is quite flexible. So in terms of eligibility, a chartered accountant or ACCA, CPA, CISA can go through the route of challenge exam, or also can adopt the traditional three-part exam route as well. But if you are not a, like say, not a chartered accountant or ACCA or any of those 18 accounting bodies or CISA, then you have only option which is three-part exam. Now moving further, the syllabus as per the three-part exam, essentials of internal auditing, which will talk about the IPPF standards, this which is applicable till next year, May, and the new standards, Global International Internal Audit Standards, GIAS, are going to be applicable from next year, May 2025. So right now it is IPPF standards, and then practice of internal auditing, how to perform internal auditing, how to select samples, how to do testing, how to do reporting, and then business knowledge for internal auditing, which includes 4 different topics in terms of information technology, information security, business knowledge and business acumen, and also about financial accounting and financial management. So these are the topics for the regular three-part exam. When you look at challenge exam, most of those topics are included in the single exam. So that is what is a challenge. You need to study 3 books or 3 syllabus completely in a single sitting exam and pass within 2 months or 4 months. That is why it is called as a challenge exam. And still there are certain topics which you are already studied in your topics, in your professional courses like CA, CCA, CISA, those will be excluded. For example, for CISA, the topics like information security and information technology are excluded. And for accountants, qualified accountants like CA, ACCA, CPA, the topics like financial accounting, financial management, etc. are excluded. So this is predominantly all 3 subjects minus certain items which you have already studied, so which is the challenge exam. In terms of fees details, what you need to pay to the US, we have listed the IIA India membership fees and the non-member fees. For other countries, you need to look at your country IIA's website. So CII challenge exam, except CISA holder, which is chartered accountant or CPA or ACCA, $941. And if you need to retake the exam, roughly around $300, you get a discount because that is for the material what they're providing. So you need to pay $633. So challenge exam for CISA holders, which is $1,255 for members. And whether you need to become a member or not, you can see the price difference here. For a non-member, it's quite costly, roughly about $350 to $400. So for which you can pay the Indian membership, which is currently at a kind of a waiver for the entrance fee. So you pay 4,000 plus GST, you become a member. So we strongly recommend you to become a IAA India member and then do the exam fees. You get significant discount. And fees for CIA regular exam. Each application is separate dollars, which you can see on the screen. Roughly about $700 to $800 you need to pay, and there is a revision which is going to happen in the month of July. So that might go up by another $50 or $100. So retake of this exam, you need to pay the full fees of this $221 or $199 for that particular part exam which you need to reappear. Otherwise, the difference is that in challenge exam, you need to pay the entire amount. The exam details, 3 separate exams for the regular exam. In challenge exam, it is only one exam comprised of all 3 parts. Exam pattern, the part 1 is 2.5 hour exam because you are going to have 125 MCQ in 150 minutes. Roughly about 1.2 minutes you are going to have for each exam, each question. Similarly, for 100 questions in the next part, 1.2 minutes, 120 minutes, which is 2 hours. Same is the case for part 3 as well. In terms of challenge exam, it's a single exam, but 150 MCQs you need to write, 3 hours, which is 180 minutes. So same 1.2 minutes logic applies here as well. Taken to pass the exam, candidates typically have 3 years to complete all 3 parts. We see people writing the exam within a span of 6 months to 1 year to complete this. On the other side, challenge exam is quite fast and fast track. So you have shorter time frame to study and pass the exam. Within 2 months or within 4 months, you can complete your challenge exam. After you write the exam, you need to go to the online testing centers in your city and write the exam. What date? The date you need to book it on their portal. The date which is convenient for you, which is available on their portal. You can go ahead and schedule it. On that day, you go appear, show your ID card, and then you can write the exam. Pass percentage. Okay, first pass marks. The passing score is 600 out of 750 for all the exams, whatever we have discussed so far. So what is the 750? You write the exam for 100 or 125 or 150. That will be scaled up to 750. So by that way, you need to score 600, which is roughly around 80%. This is the real challenge where we see people who are doing it on their own by their self-study. They are easily able to score 50, 60, 70%. But to score that 80% is what you need. Some amount of coaching and rigorous studies and a lot of mock exams and practice so that people are able to pass the 80% score, which is 600. So you see the current pass rate is roughly around 40 to 50%, which is released by IAA US across the globe. So the reason why they are failing is because people think that I have studied CPA or CA or ACCA, which is one of the toughest exams. I can easily pass this exam. Yes, that is right. But on the other side, here the passing score is 80%, which you need to understand. On the other side, you need to understand that questions will be tricky and the international standards will be tested. You need rigorous amount of practice and rigorous amount of reading and regular MCQ solving as well. So if you join a coaching class, that will all be taken care through the schedule, and we will be conducting mock exams throughout. And the next one is about books or materials. There are no materials provided for the regular exam from IAA, but for challenge exam, there will be 1,000 MCQs and an ebook will be provided by the IAA US, which you can practice. But in general, IAA and IAA India strongly recommends people to buy the GLEM material, which is roughly about $500. And in terms of regular 3-part exam and challenge exam, if you register through our academy, we have some negotiated discounted price, which we can talk once you register. Conversion. If you have already registered as a 3-part exam, can you convert to challenge exam? Yes, but whatever you have done in your earlier, you have completed 1 part or 2 part, all those things you need to waive it off. That is, you need to leave it as it is, and then you need to submit a form to delete your application in that, and then convert it through a new application and pay the entire fees. There is no fees waiver, there is no subject waiver. Similarly, if you want to convert from challenge exam to the 3-part exam, the same will be applicable. Classes, as I told you earlier, why do you need classes? The reason is that when you are in your first certification, you are in your study days, like say at the age of 20, 22, where your only focus is on your studies. It's easy for you to focus on study, but after you get into a job and your family requirements and personal requirements, a lot of things comes into play, office pressure. So that is where we see that 50 to 60% of the people who are already qualified chartered accountants or CPAs or ACCAs or CISAs are not able to pass the CIA exam because of the time challenge and because of the dedicated focus for the exam, which will be ensured when you join the classes. In Shipra Academy, we offer a 4-weekend batch for this challenge exam, which is starting on 18th of May. And every Saturday and Sunday, 9:30 to 5:30 p.m., entire 8 hours, we'll be having the classes. There will be a lot of interactive sessions and MCQs, and we'll have guest speakers and games and fun things in between the session, so that to ensure that you are able to grasp the entire syllabus, and it's going to be more fun learning and able to understand what is happening in the internal audit field as well, because we are inviting a lot of speakers from Big Four and industry to come and deliver sessions on specific topics. And people are all qualified trainers are only going to deliver the session, and multiple mock exams and revisions, and we'll open up a WhatsApp group as well to solve your queries until you pass your exam. So there is nothing to worry. There will be a support group and a peer group to motivate you to ensure that you are passing the exam. If you're not able to attend a particular day, the recording of the video will be shared to you for a shorter time frame for you to read and review. In conclusion, which one to choose between regular or the challenge exam, you can decide depending upon your time availability and your risk-taking ability. So if you have time right now, the strong preference is to go for the challenge exam, because it's a one-shot exam, write one exam and clear it and come out. And for that, you don't need to worry. We are going to have classes only on the weekends between May 18th till June 9th. So only 4 weekends you dedicate within a span of 20-22 days. Stay focused. End of June, you write the exam, or you want to prepare some more time, then take the exam in the month of August, write the exam and clear it, and then you will be on your own, so that your professional journey will be upskilled. So now we'll open up the session for any questions or doubts from people. You can feel free to raise your hands or write your questions. I think somebody has asked a question. Okay, Rishu has asked, if I'm a CA and CISA both, whether I'll get exemption for both. Okay, Rishu, good question. So as I told you, the syllabus for CISA and CA are slightly different, but you need to choose whether you want to appear as a CISA or as a CA. The reason being, there are no exams which is like say giving you exemption for both. So you need to choose between the two. You need to decide based on which syllabus you would be more comfortable to write, because chartered accountants would prefer to skip the information security and information technology. Then you can register as a CISA, and then you can write only the managerial accounting and financial management, so that it is easier for you to pass the exam. On the other side, look at the costing as well. Slightly there is a difference in the costing between the CISA registrant and the CA registrant. You look at both the options in terms of what syllabus you are ready to write and prepare to write. By that way, you get a clarity. I hope I have answered your question. If there is any further questions, if you want to ask, you can open up your mic and speak. Team, you can open up Rishu or Amol. I think Amol is asking a question. Costlier than the, okay, is the challenge exam is costlier than the 3 parts exam? Okay. See, from the IAS point of view, they did not look at the cost perspective and compare or differentiate the cost. The cost for challenge exam is separate and cost for 3-part exam is separate. What they talk about is one-shot exam, you're going to clear the entire syllabus and you're going to get the certification in a short time frame. That is why the fees is fixed in a different level for the challenge exam. And as I told you, the fees is going to be revised even for the 3-part exam in the next 2 or 3 months. So that might be more or less equal, or if you are being a non-member or a member, that is going to be significantly different. So the fees which I had flashed on screen is what are the fees. You can take a call as to how you want to proceed in terms of the challenge or the regular exam. But the strong preference is towards the challenge exam. The reason being, we have seen people who actually lose the momentum after they register for the regular exam. One exam they clear, second exam maybe they are not able to clear, they fail, and then they lose the momentum and they are not able to complete the exam, or they get into office pressure and they are not able to devote time and dedicate time. They are not able to come back to the exam path. So they say that even after 10 years, 10 years back, I wrote the CII regular exam. Even I am not able to complete it. So that is the reason why people convert the challenge exam and get the certification quite faster. Okay. I hope I had answered your question, Amol. And Rishu is asking a question: how is the difficulty level of the challenge exam as compared to CISA? CISA for me was very, very practical and nitty-gritty related. Okay. See, the challenge exam versus CISA, I will not be able to compare, though even I am also a CISA, but still you can't compare exam with another exam because there will be a lot of technical things in the CISA exam. But here, in terms of CA challenge exam, more focus, around 70 to 80% focus is towards the process. Even for the challenge exam, how to perform the audit, what is independence, what is objectivity, right? What is due professional care, and how do you differentiate this, and then how do you communicate the audit report, and how do you select sample, what are the methods of selecting the samples, those kind of process oriented. So if you are into the practice of internal audit or audits, you will enjoy the process while learning. Because I have seen that while you're doing it in day to day and you're seeing that, oh, this is a standard saying in my company, this is not applicable, or they are not doing it. So maybe let me recommend that, or understand why is it happening this way. So all those things will be quite interesting for you to understand. And only the 20 or 25% will be covered towards the CISA related topics of information security or information technology. So in terms of the exams, the questions, it will be easier for you to eliminate the 2 out of the 4 choices. But between the last 2, there is definitely going to be a kind of a tricky situation. You need to choose between the 2. The best answer and the close to the best answer will be there. So a lot of questions will be tricky. So only when you go through, like say 2,000, 3,000 questions multiple times through the GLEM portal, then you will be more confident to write the exams. I hope that answers your question, Rishu. Okay, feel free to open up your mic and ask questions. I hope you are able to understand the differences between challenge exam and the 3-part exam, and also what is the specific difference between CA and the CISA taking the exam. In terms of the Shipra's course wise, 8 days course, until 5 days, it will be common for all. But the last 3 days, it will be divided between, like say, the CA students and the CISA students, or the accountants and the CISA, because the subject is going to change. There will be 2 split streams and 2 different faculties will be handling the class at the same time. To ensure that CISA coverage is given to you, because across the country, we are seeing that only chartered accountants related coaching classes are there. But there is a good number of CISA people who wanted to attend the class, which is specific and tailor-made to them. And from Shipra Academy, we have done that specifically for the CISA students. And once you join the academy, you are part of us, and say you can be rest assured that we'll support you and guide you throughout the process and ensure that you are passing the exam. Okay, any other questions from Tolulu? Okay, so is there another question? Okay, fine. Will you be the faculty? Yes, I'll be the primary faculty for most of the topics, and we'll also be bringing in the CISA experts and also the IAA people who are, like say, part of the IAS membership fraternity, and also people who are IAS Board of Governors to deliver specific sessions, and people from industry and Big Four to talk about the specific topics. But predominantly, I'll be the faculty for most of the sessions. Okay, I hope that is answered. And in terms of my experience as a faculty, okay, a quick background about myself. I have 2 decades of corporate experience in terms of working with Big Four, Deloitte and Credit Suisse as a SOX key account manager, and then with Ford Motor Company as an internal audit manager, and traveled across 15 different countries and 5 different continents, including US, Africa, Europe, and Asia, and also Australia. So all these travel for the specific purposes of audit. And after that, I wanted to give back to the society. That is when I decided to pursue my passion into teaching. And for the last 8 years, I'm taking classes in various academies and Ivy League colleges in Chennai, in India, and also a lot of other academies over online classes for US CMA, CIA, and also Chartered Accountant students. So all these classes were running for the last 7-8 years, and I'm also a certified life coach where I train students specifically on clearing their exam fear, because a lot of people have the mental block as to how do I clear the exam, or I failed the exam once, how do I pass the exam, especially the CA students. A lot of coaching sessions I've done and people have cleared their exams after that. You can see my LinkedIn profile as well. You can see those kind of messages and testimonials on that. Okay. Whether you join the class or not, that's okay, but keep following us on the social media, Shipra Academy. You'll see some good, interesting questions coming up there in LinkedIn specifically, and also in other social media. And you can see the YouTube videos on the content as well as your doubts and topics. You can follow us. And we are also placing students who have passed from our academy in various Big Fours and other corporates, so that we are ensuring that not only are teaching, we are also ensuring that their career path is actually taken care, if at all they require any kind of a support for freshers as well as for later hires. I would just leave you with that one thought. If you are hesitant, then you will be hesitant throughout. Ensure that you are taking that brave next step towards your enriching your career in terms of upskilling yourself by getting the CIA certification. Whatever you want, whatever the doubts you have, we are there to support you and guide you through the journey. And all the best for your career. Take care.